5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. It is a Thursday night for us, Friday morning for you guys. And it's been a good day. It's been a good, productive, busy day today.
Amen.
So before we get into the subject of what we're going to talk about, we're going to just talk a little bit about our day and some things been going on, I guess. Before we get into it, I will remember this time to put when we actually get to the subject. We're going to put a time there. I don't know when that'll be until after editing, But today we went to get the printer.
Yes.
Yeah, we went to get the printer that...
It's heavy.
It was an hour and a half away from here. It was literally going halfway toward Reno, or toward Lake Tahoe, basically. It was an hour and a half, because Lake Tahoe's 2.5 hours, and we went an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So, we picked up this printer. It's an industrial, like one you would see at a FedEx or a Kinko's or whatever. Yeah. And that way we can use that. You're making me yawn.
Sorry, guys, it's late.
That way we can use that toward the prison ministry, because it takes a long time. We have a great printer, but it's slow when it comes. We're trying to crank out sermons, and they're like 9 pages each. Yeah, they're like 9 pages each, and the printer that we have doesn't print that fast,
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard to get everything printed and everything, and have that speed. And for the amount of stuff that we're, hoping to start getting out, we're going to need something a little bit more reliable, that it's going to be a little bit more durable and quicker and more consistent and everything. So I'm just, I'm grateful that we found something that's going to be faster.
Yeah.
And that's going to be able to handle the volume, because I think now that we have something that's a little bit bigger, I'm going to be able to hit bigger platforms. There's really a big platform that I've been really wanting to hit, which is called Families in Action, which is one of the biggest platforms that is out there for inmates, families that have inmates that are in different facilities all around the world. And my sister and I are part of that platform. And I constantly just see people encourage one another on there, and encourage family stories, testimonies, and everything on there. And I think that that's one platform that I'd really love to reach out to. But I know that the moment that I actually put it out there, I know that there's going to be an inundation of requests and everything. So that's why it's so important for me to have all my I's dotted, all my T's crossed. And I want to make sure that there's a full system in place, that we have teams in place, that we have all of this in place. I want to reach out to organizations. I want to make sure that we have a well-oiled machine, in every sense, not just a copy machine, but I'm talking about systematically, so that we can have this completely, fully going, so that our loved ones can get these on a regular basis, on time, systematically every week, and that it's just flowing.
Yeah, and I've said this before, and I feel like I want to say it again in case somebody's watching, said, why are you concentrating so much on prison ministry? And here's the thing, right, is that, yes, we're running the church. Yes, I pastor every week, and we do the Bible studies on Wednesday. Sometimes we have Zoom classes. Sometimes we do these things. So why do we keep mentioning this prison ministry? I want to remind you that I should have looked it up, but the percentage, it's a very high percentage. I could be wrong, 70, 80, even 95% of people incarcerated are not there for life. Meaning that these men and these women are highly likely they have a release date. So, for somebody to say out here, why are we spending time or money or resources on inmates? Here's why. Because people are going to come out to your community, my community. How do you want them coming out? Because honestly, for the most part, the correctional facilities are not rehabilitating them. They are just simply caging them. And for the most part, they come out worse. And I know this. I'm not talking out of something I don't know, and it's like, so it's all of our problem, and here's another thing is there is a lot of the people, not everyone I met, but there's a lot of leaders that they just made the wrong decisions and they use their leadership skills for wrong reasons. But if we can direct them toward Christ and through the sermons and through these things, build them up, so to me, it's a win-win all the way around.
Absolutely.
And that is why that is so crucial and so key. And it's like, we're not a prison ministry church. Obviously we're doing other things, but this is a huge part of, I think it's very important, and not many people do it. Not many churches do it, to transcribe, and at a time when the pandemic, it's like churches are all out for themselves. We feel this urgent sense where God is saying, don't do that. Just keep being about my business. And we're just listening. Honestly, we're just listening. We're just obeying. We're going to keep doing, I want to set up another Zoom class. We did identity. I want to do another one and set that up. We want to do the prison ministry. We want to continue the Bible studies Wednesday. We do these devotionals. And we're just like, okay, Lord, we're not going to do that. We're not going to become in-focused with how to keep this church going through a pandemic. We're just going to stay busy for the Lord.
Amen. I do know one thing, that I think everybody needs that second chance and opportunity. And I think that a lot of the times coming back out into society and everything, it's not about just coming back and just getting back into society, getting back into a community and just falling into place. It actually it takes time to relearn and refocus your life and start all over. And a lot of the times, there's resources that are needed for a lot of that. And, I'm so grateful that I've been able to see David regain a lot of that part of his life and become the man of God that he is, and regain his life with his children, have a marriage and have a home life and have all of those things. And I think that if I can see a man who God has transformed his life do that, then I believe that he can do that with everybody and anybody. If I can see God take a single mom, a young mom who was 14 years old, because there's so many young girls out there. And I know it because I used to go and speak at juvenile halls, and I used to see these young moms, and they were so young and they were in prison already or in jail, Mm-hmm. And I would go in there. And if I can see that God can transform my life, then I know he can do it in their lives as well, but the thing is that I had resources. There was people there to help me through them. I was part of organizations that helped me walk through it. And sometimes people need that. They need that extra push, and it's not that we're children or it's not that we're any of that, but people sometimes need that extra push, that extra encouragement and everything. And, it's so important, encouragement. That's such that word has so much more meaning than what we even realize. Encouragement. What is encouragement, man? That's actually, is that what we're going to talk about today?
But I wasn't ready yet. I was going to talk about a couple other things first.
Okay, but let's talk about a few other things. But, I just wanted to leave you guys with that, because I think that's such an important thing for people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, because we do want to talk about encouragement, but I also wanted to, if you notice, there's a giant canvas behind us. I didn't move it.
Oh.
But I got blessed. A brother called from Southern California and wanted this commission work, and it is huge. It barely fit in the SUV, and pretty excited about that. And then we went to get that printer and came back. And another thing too is that on the last video I mentioned about my friend John that passed, and I still can't shake it, to be honest with you guys. It's really put me in a weird thought ever since I learned about that, and it got me, thinking about just a lot of stuff. Just today, I reached out to his best friend, who's somebody I also went to school with, and just talking with him, and he's really hurting, and I don't know, I guess sometimes I forget the influence. I had like two lives, because I have a life as a pastor, and I've been a pastor now and a Christian for a long time, that when I talk about my past, it feels like it's somebody else's story. And I come to the realization when things like this happen, and some of the comments I see, positive comments I see, I realize that my music had a huge influence on a lot of people to this day. And I'll be honest with you, I'm just sitting here like, okay, John passed away and left a legacy of amazing music, and to the point where I even posted one of our old songs that I did on my Facebook. And it makes me think, because obviously music is powerful, and it just made me think, like, if I would pass tomorrow, what would people share? Social media would blow up with my old songs, and it just, I don't know, it just made me think. It made me think, like, I was just like, because it had me thinking, like, man, it would have been cool to have heard another last song from John, but because he had quit a long time ago. He had quit because it just got insane. After I got locked up, it just got really crazy. FBI was all over Tracy, and he just said, man, I'm done, and he just chose to live his family life. But anyways, I'm not trying to make sense of anything. I'm just saying it just really got me thinking, about a lot of things. Some of the other members, have I really tried reaching out to them? Because I talked to John, I talked to him about the Lord. Have I really, really tried to reach out to some of the other rappers that I used to know? And I think that I have tried, and I have, but if I have the light, if I have the answer, why am I not pursuing it? Because a lot of these guys are lost. And what if I'm the only one they would half listen to? So anyways, it has me thinking about a lot of stuff, But today, back to what Sharon was talking about encouragement. We were on the drive. Mm-hmm. We were on the drive. We went to Sacramento, and we went past it because that Sacramento's an hour away, mm-hmm. and then Rockland's another 30 minutes away from that. So
it's kind of far.
We had a far drive. In Sacramento, we stopped to get this. Nobody sells canvases this big, but this one store. So we had a lot to talk about, long ways, and in the middle of that, my phone rings, and it's Tony, or what's his name?
Yeah, Brother Heart Life Tony.
Heart Life Tony that you see, and his wife Michelle, mm-hmm. and but she wasn't. I don't know if she was there. She was just quiet. She didn't say nothing.
Yeah,
I don't know. So I see his name pop up on my phone, and I answered the call, And first he was talking about he wanted to order a hat, but his head's really big. If I had Jack in the Box size hats, but he was just asking about some of the merchandise, some of the shirts and the hats, and I think that was just his icebreaker, right? But then he kind of went into his conversation, and his conversation was basically a word of encouragement, and he just went on a 5-minute tangent on encouraging words. And those things are good, because a lot of times, let's say these devotionals we're pouring into you, but who pours into us? And I believe that the Lord led him to call and pour into us. And maybe to him, he thinks like, man, what do you guys think I'm crazy, you know? But honestly, I mean, we're over here driving an hour and a half to get a printer to do this prison ministry. And what are we doing? You know what I mean? And all of a sudden he calls in the middle of that, you know, in the middle of my thoughts about John, in the middle of my thoughts about this prison mission, in the middle of my thoughts of having church outside in a parking lot and how hot it was last Sunday.
And we didn't even do a devotional.
And we didn't do a devotional and all these things, you know, and because even though we had an hour and a half drive, there was pockets of it that we were both quiet. I think we were just both in our own thoughts. And then, you know, Tony calls.
Yeah.
And, you know, as you know, Tony and his wife are going to kick off a House of Rest church in Phoenix, Arizona. Mm-hmm. This has been in the plans. This has been talking. They both love the Lord. That's number one. And number two, they both have degrees in seminary. They have both been in ministry. They are both amazing people. That stuff is secondary compared to loving Jesus first. And they do, you know, and so just kind of, he was not only encouraging us, but giving us an update of what's going on, what's in his heart, what's in his mind, you know. So if you are in the Phoenix area, please comment on this video because we want to connect you with Tony and his wife, you know. And but anyways, I don't know. What are your thoughts about his call?
I just feel that it was very, very timely. I think we have always been very, very, very open with you guys, and we have been very transparent. We've said that there will be times where we're just so exhausted where we can't put up a video, and there'll be times where maybe we're just not in the right character, that we just don't feel that it's the right timing for us to put up a devotional. And yesterday was one of those moments where, you know, we just weren't in the right character, you know, and we just kind of like, maybe we shouldn't put up a video. And so, you know, we looked at each other and we said, then maybe we shouldn't. We needed that encouragement, you know, and I feel that we can be real. We can keep it real. You know, we are a marriage as well. We are a husband and wife, and we have moments where we can't see eye to eye, or we have those moments where, you know, we're going to, you know, feel tired, or we're going to, you know, feel overwhelmed, or there's going to be anything, you know, but, you know, getting that phone call today, to me, it was just like the Lord reminding and saying, see, I've brought you this far for purposes like this, you know?
Yeah.
And that's in my heart. And I needed that. I needed that just those constant confirmations, those constant reminders. Like sometimes the Lord just needs to remind you sometimes and just be like, you know, this is why we do what we do. You know, these are the reasons. This is the purpose, and it was such a blessing for me to hear those words of encouragement.
So it made me think of this, guys, and this is kind of why I thought it was important to bring it up. It's a question: is who do you have in your life to encourage? Because a lot of times we don't realize it, that it's always about us. We always want somebody to encourage us, or you know, or not us, but you. Instead of saying, who can I encourage today? You know, and it changes from being needy to giving. And a lot of times when you encourage somebody, it's weird because by encouraging somebody else, you encourage yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and it's, you pour it out, you know. So I think that just really think today and say, who have I not encouraged? Who have I never encouraged? Who have I not reached out to? And encourage that person today. Find what you like about that person. Because a lot of times, guys, there's something somebody does great, but if nobody tells them, there's days where they feel like
Yeah.
like it's not so great.
Yeah.
And it takes somebody to remind.
Yeah.
And that's the way we're made. Humans are made that way.
Yeah. Well, it says that, we're to boast upon others, and,
Yeah.
and I think it's so important that it's okay for us to be able to boast upon others and to let them know what an amazing job they're doing, and to honor others and to do that. And I think that's important because we don't do that as often as we should. And I think it's good to, I think it's a beautiful thing because almost every day I get a text from one of the Sister Rachel. She's, how good morning, beautiful daughter of the King, and she says such beautiful words, and it melts my heart every day, that she messages me, and I'm just like, and I find myself continuously now thanking her and sending one back to her because it's just, I appreciate her so much.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get Melodia who, constantly sends me how she's praying for me and everything. And man, that warms my heart to know that somebody is thinking of me, and it feels really, really nice. And, to know that I have sisters that I can be able to go back and forth with and just encourage one another. Yeah. And I think that's a beautiful thing. So to just know that you're thought of. Yeah. And I think we were saying this the other day when we had Sister Angelica here with Jose, when we talked about Robert's mom, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We were talking about, and some of you guys might remember this story because Robert Gallegos, his mom passed away last year. Bless her heart, man. She's a beautiful, beautiful woman. She's the one that talked about David's noggin, everything that he has in his noggin. But I remember that when we were there at her celebration of life, when we were sitting at the table, the daughter came and gives me a box and she says, my mom would like for you to have this. And I didn't know. This is one of the only times ever in my life, and still to this day, I've never ever in my life have felt as special as this day, to think that somebody who's passed away would even think of me at their last moments. And that I will never forget that moment, to think like, wow, was I that special to somebody, And that made me feel very, very special. And I have her books displayed here because it meant so much to me. But man, it's just crazy. And because of seeing all of that and seeing how special this woman is to me, I was like, you know what? It left something in me that I want to take a piece of that and instill that in my life. So the day that I leave this earth to go be home with my Father, I want to do something similar to that. I want to be able to do something special like that,
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just precious, guys, to be thought of. It's a beautiful thing to be thought of. Yeah. Why did you get quiet? We got quiet.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm just gonna end up repeating myself. But I just think that encouraging is very important and is good. There's nothing wrong with it, and that actually it builds people up.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just think that that's important. And that was encouraging, Tony. I thank you for calling. Just to hear the update, just to hear because it's like when he had shared that he wanted to open a house of rest there, and here's like where communication needs to happen, because then I don't want to hound him about it, because then I feel like I'm pushing it.
Yeah.
Because, so maybe I don't bring it up, but maybe he takes it like, man, he didn't bring it up. Maybe he doesn't want us to do it. So, it's like we have to communicate. Communication is key.
Very.
Because we do want to replicate what we have in Modesto in other cities. But sometimes it takes communication, because I don't want to force it on anyone. At the same time, maybe somebody's waiting for me to ask.
Yeah.
But that was very encouraging. I like the fact that, honestly, like, there's times where Tony has asked questions. But there's other times where he comes at me as an equal. It's not always like, hey, pastor, pour into me kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's different types of relationships that I have, you know, and don't get me wrong, I love to pour into those that ask, and I know I can't spread myself thin. I understand that. I understand there's probably more pouring I should be doing or can be doing, you know, but it's hard sometimes. It really is, because you know, the pressures of pastoring a church through a pandemic, and then little things, guys, little things that I don't talk about or don't mention. You know, my daughter that was a nurse, you know, calls me out of nowhere last week saying, Dad, my boyfriend tested positive for COVID, and I was just with him, and we were at my other daughter's with the babies. You know, so I'm tripping on that, and so she's a nurse, so immediately she left work, and that means she has to go test, and then she has to, you know, so all of this stuff, you know, waiting on, and then so my other daughter is nervous because she has the babies, and just a lot of stuff, you know, and then John passing away in the church, and then it was really hot preaching in the back, you know, and so we ordered these sales, and they're not coming in on time.
We're trying to figure out how we're going to shade it for this Sunday, one more Sunday, and
yeah, and it's like every day something pops up. I'm in the middle of formatting not only Pastor Thomas's book but Dale's book. You know, trying to do that, push that, get that out there, and do what I need to do with that.
Try to sell, yeah.
Yeah, and then somebody called me for a painting, and then I had to go to get this printer in Sacramento, and so it's a lot of things, you know, and it's just life, guys. It's life. That's besides the regular stuff we do. We need groceries. We need to wash clothes. House is a mess. You know, just a lot of things, man. A lot of things. You know, and I have no idea what my point was right now. But
and then on top of that, we're trying to figure out, okay, when do we have time for us?
Yeah.
You know, and it's kind of like. And I think that's where we have to kind of slow down a little bit. And those are when we have to recognize, okay, wait a minute, we gotta step back and find balance again, you know, because sometimes things can become too much and you got to start finding balance. And I think the wonderful thing is that we're able to recognize all these things, you know, because you pull back, you find balance again, you balance yourself out. And then, we get busy. We get really, really busy. But then we pull back again and we find that balance. We have to. But we're always going to constantly be busy, you guys. This is our life. You know, this is the life that the Lord called us to have. And this is what we chose, you know, because ultimately we have a choice. You know, we have a choice, just like everybody has a choice, and we made a choice. We made a choice to follow Jesus, and here we are. We're gonna keep following. We're gonna keep going, and nothing's gonna stop us. You know, We're just gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going forward, head first. Let's just go and let's just do it. And nothing's going to stop us, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. So it's like, but just to finish that, my daughter's boyfriend, he went to his doctor and it was negative. My daughter came back negative. My other daughter came back negative, you know, and, you know, I wish there was more hours in the day sometimes. I really do. And it's like you guys already know me. You guys know that I love movies. And it's always something to do. And I don't know, like the last 5 days, I'm like, I just want to watch a movie with you. That's all I want to do, you know? And then it's like, oh, we got to do the devotional. We got to print this. You got to paint that. I got to work on this. And it's like constantly. You know, and I like what you said right now. Sometimes you just got to pause. Yeah. You know, so today I didn't even ask her. I just started playing a movie. I didn't even ask. I just hit play.
He just hit play and it was already playing and I came to sit down and I just stood quiet and I just watched it with him. You guys.
And that's why we're doing this video late, because I just wanted to watch a movie with my wife. You know, that's all I wanted. And it's a small thing, you know. But, you know, find somebody to encourage today.
Yeah.
Find somebody to encourage and call them up and, you know, and just encourage them. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all we ask.
Everybody needs encouraging. Everybody needs just a little bit of light, you know, if just a phone call or a text or just a message or just something, and just hey, how you doing? You know, I pray you have a blessed day today. They need something. Just stay encouraged so that you can encourage other. Be blessed to be a blessing, you know? Amen.
That's it.
Yeah. Let's keep it short and sweet.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
I don't think I am going to put a time because the whole thing was a lesson. Honestly, it wasn't scriptural, but I think it was a little pep talk or something. I don't know what you want to label it as, but, you know.
Encouragement.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, if you know what I was reading today. Let me share this one word. I do want to share this because I was going through my notes today. And I remember I wrote this down a very long time ago. And it just, the one thing between Genesis and Revelation is that it is written. And I love that. The fact that it's just written. And in between all of that are the words of God. And Jesus, all he ever spoke was encouragement. It was life, you know? And life is something that is living and it's encouraging. You know, life is encouragement, and that's all that's written. So my thing is that if you have not picked up the word, if you have not, pick it up and stay encouraged and be encouraged by what is written, you know? Mm-hmm. So I'll leave you guys with that, you guys. So even though we might not have shared a specific verse or anything, I think all encouragement and everything is of the Lord.
Amen.
Amen.
So I know it's Friday for you guys. We go live on Sunday, but I don't know if you guys follow it or not, but I do want to do a part 3 session to that giant painting I was doing sometime between now and Sunday. So don't be surprised if you get a little notification that we're live. Don't feel like you're obligated, but basically when we do those videos, if you watched them, we're just talking the whole time, you know, and I got to put some paint on that canvas.
Yes, he does.
I have that one. I have another special one.
I'm going to put it right there.
Yeah, I know. I have another special one that nobody's, well, I don't know. Maybe I'll share it with you this week. And then I got this big one right here also. So, all right, guys. God bless you.
Bye,
have a
guys.
great
We
week.
love you.
And if you do see a notification, pop in just to say hi. You don't got to sit there and watch me paint. I know it's boring. But pop in for 5 minutes just to say hello. Because we're just messing around and then talking and stuff on it anyway, so we can be more interactive, you know. But maybe it'll be Friday night, Saturday morning. I don't know.
We will see.
All right.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. God bless.
Oh, you know what? And today is my grandson's birthday.
Oh, that's right.
Today is my grandson's 8th.
By the time they watch this.
Yeah, by the time you guys watch this, it's my grandson's birthday. He turns 8 years old. Tristan. 8 years old.
Man, he talks like an adult already.
Yeah, he's such an amazing boy. Yeah, but you know, sad.
He's an amazing boy.
Every year I go see him, and this year I wasn't able to. But wish him a happy birthday, guys.
I'm gonna have to think of an excuse to take you down there soon.
Yeah, I would love that. Yeah. I would absolutely love that. All right, guys, we love you.
All right, bye.